Good morning, YouTube, and it's another wonderful day. A little windy, a little cloudy, but let's get working. Actually, let me go out and see what Heidi's doing. She's been working.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream.
No rain in the forecast, and it's going to be 79 today. We're going to have a little bit of rain tomorrow, and then we've got a few days of very, very warm weather for this region. So warm that we haven't had a temperature that we may achieve since 2012. So it's been 6 years. Hello, woman.
Hello.
So apparently she's painting.
Yeah, we won't be able to put the countertop on today.
Why? Did you paint all that?
I've done painted all over the place today.
Oh, okay.
Touched up. And I figured that I needed to do this today.
Yeah, it looks good. I forgot that needed painted, and now that you've done it, it even brightens it even more. Oh, I see. Yeah, you did paint. Wow, you painted a lot in here.
No, I ain't painting inside there, even though it looks like I did.
Oh, I thought you were painting inside there.
No way. That's too much.
Really? Because it'd brighten it up in there. Now I gotta add a light.
Good. Add a light.
Look at that foam sneaking through that I sprayed in there. Woo! It expanded a lot. So I'm not sure what we're gonna get done today.
Well, we need to work in the garage.
What she's talking about is the garage in here is just a disaster. And it's been a disaster. We've talked about it a ton of times. Yeah, we've got to do something about all of this to make it a little bit easier. This was supposed to be sort of a staging area and a painting area. I thought she would be doing a lot of the cabinet door painting in here, which she did, but it turned out that we've only done a few doors in here, and most of the stuff we would have been better off if we were painting outside on the picnic table. All right, so we're going to run uptown, and I've got the air running in the RV because Heidi's done all this painting and the humidity is starting to creep up. So I figured that I'd go ahead and run the generator. Not only that, but I'm going to try to save myself some money since I'm at home here, and I'm going to run on gasoline. Now, I've only done a test on gasoline to show you guys how well it did on gas, how long it lasted, and I guess I'm going to really put it to the test now and run it on gas for a while here. I can tell you already I don't care for the fumes. The propane fumes seem to be so much thinner and not pleasant, but definitely, you know, thinner, I guess you could say. The outdoor stove, again, I've got the T-fitting for that. We're going to show that installation whenever we get to that, but that requires me to get a flaring tool, which I'm going to rent at Advance Auto Parts. If you guys don't know, you can rent a lot of specialty tools at the auto parts stores, not just Advance, but since Heidi works at Advance, I can tell you about it. And basically what you do is you go in and you buy the part. You just flat out buy the part, and then you bring it back and you get all your money back. So we're going to do that. Heidi's going to do some shopping. Hopefully we can get this RV nice and cool for her, and more importantly than that, get the humidity turned down inside here. It's not real bad. It's only about 64%, so we're going to see if we can get a little lower. So nice, so cool. Okay, it's 69 in here. It's 51% humidity, so that has gone down considerably. And it's time for me to do some work in here. I'm shaking the camera around because I'm opening my tripod, because eventually I'm going to have to be underneath the sink here. The tricky part for me, though, is Heidi painted, and I've got to work around her new paint job. Here's the deal. We now have that outdoor stove mounted, or to be mounted outside, but we don't have any way to get any gas to it right now, and that's what I'm going to be doing here, is setting up the gas. Now, this is the hose. I'm going to put the links down below for this stuff. This is the hose that you're going to run, and basically this is going to connect to the gas line that is currently on the RV. So let me show you that, and then we'll go ahead and show you all these pieces. Okay, so you see this copper line that's right here. That copper line needs to be cut and a splice be put into it so that we can run the hose outside. The supply has been turned off. It's opened up. All the pressure's released. The oven that it connects to, which is the indoor oven, is not even connected right now. It's out in the truck waiting for that igniter. So the first thing that you need to do here is
get the parts that you need. Now, in my case, this is a 3/8 inch line, and I'm going to create 3/8 inch flares. So you need to check what your size is on your RV. This may be pretty standard, but you've got to know. You just have to know. Now, if you do have 3/8 inch line, which again is pretty standard, this is the low pressure side of things, and this hose that I have and the fitting will work just fine. So let me show you what I've got now, since we know what we're going to be cutting into.
And when I say cutting into, you need some sort of a pipe cutter. Now in this case, this is a close quarters pipe cutter. Some of them, you know, are much longer. I have one of those and it's very good. It's actually much better than this one, but I don't know if I have enough room to swing all the way around that gas line. So we're going to cut the line. Before we do that, we're going to clean it up with some steel wool. I'm just going to rub that area top to bottom. Once the line is cut, I'll separate it a little bit. I'll slide one of these couplings on one end, and I'll slide one of these couplings on the other end. At that point, we will get out the kit. Again, you're going to go to the auto parts store and pick this up. This was $38 for me to get. Now it has other fittings in here for double flares and stuff like that. We don't need any of that. We're just going to be using this piece here and this piece here. Once those lines are flared, you know, the fitting then can't come back off, and that's what you want, because then this fitting will take and tighten up against this T, this flare T. I'll put the links down below for all this stuff so you can pick it up. That way you're not confused by what to get. Except for these. You may have to pick these up at the hardware store. Now I picked all this stuff up at the hardware store, but I will include a link down below just in case you're having a hard time with that. Now the reason that I know I need 3 flares is because I've got a hose that on one end has that same flare. You can see this end here, this is the flare. Now again, this is what we're going to be recreating on those lines that we're going to be cutting, and it's going to look like that with the fitting on it once we're done. Then on this end, I need a way to make this connect to the stove. And that's what this part is right here. In the box, you get 2 pieces. You get this piece here, and then you get this piece. Well, I don't need this piece. I already have that on the oven. But maybe you don't. Maybe you want to try to convert an oven or something. So it'll come with it. That's nice. But then this hose with some pipe thread tape, which I got to put some tape on here, some pipe sealant, some Teflon tape. This will thread on, and that will connect it.
Well, I have a feeling that this is probably going to be a pretty crappy shot, but we're going to try it anyways. And again, the first thing I'm going to do is try to find an area that's relatively straight on here. And since this is a nice gradual curve, I really don't know if there is that kind of a spot anywhere. So what I'm going to do is just clean this up. It's getting pretty darn cleared up here. Shiny. I'm feeling this, it's pretty smooth. So now I just have to put my clamp on here. Now this old brake line cutter, or pipe cutter, which I use for brake lines, it's pretty old. Hopefully this has got enough oomph to it still to make a decent cut, because I haven't used it for a little while. These things are pretty simple to use. You just go around the line, maybe put a little bit more of a turn to the screw and dig that little cutting wheel in a little bit further and just keep on going around. Getting closer. And that is it. It's pretty square. We got to make sure that, again, this is cleaned off from what I was just doing there. Those little wheels that I have on my brake line cutter made the pipe a little bit on the dirty side there. The very first thing you want to do, so you don't forget, is to put these fittings on. The last thing you want to do is forget to put the fittings on and do the flare, because you'll be cutting and doing it all over again just to get a stupid fitting on that you forgot to put on. Alright, so those 2 fittings are on now. It's a matter of getting the flare tool to flare the line. So you have to match it up with the right size. You got to know which size you need there. And these things are beveled on one side. You want to put the bevel towards the part that you want flared out. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but if you haven't done it before, it could be tricky. All right, once we have this flaring tool on here, you just take the I don't know, anvil, I don't know what they call this thing. You get that lined up with the parts that you want to flare, and go ahead and tighten it down until we get to basically smash that thing. That's what you're doing. You're just smashing that copper and flaring it out. So let's see if we got it right. There we go. It's pretty tight. It should be flared pretty decent. Let's see here. Might have to redo it. I haven't flared anything for a long time. I can't even remember the last time I did a flare, to tell you the truth. And I'm going to show you what you need to be looking for on your fitting. This flare, when done properly, should cover 3/4 or more of the end of the flare. And that is darn near perfect. I know you guys cannot see that, and I do not know if I'm going to be able to show this on the camera, but it's darn near perfect right there. So the fitting's on, that part is flared. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for the other side, the exact same thing. I'm just going to take the tool, flip it over, tighten it down on that, and flare it out, and then we'll show you what the connections look like after I do that. Alright, so you can see here's the T. Now, you don't need any kind of pipe fitting dope or tape or anything. You could do it as a safety precaution, but I never have, because the flare is where the sealing is supposed to happen at. Now that we have these two connected, I had to reposition stuff over on this side for it to work, and it's not exactly easy. Now we're just going to put the hose that goes outside, which I don't know if I can open from in here. That may not let me do that. I might have to go outside and do some stuff. Let me see here. Hey, there we go. So the hatch is open, and I'm just pushing the hose outside, just so it's not, you know, in the way here. And then this is the fitting for the hose to go on. You can see it's pretty straightforward at this point. Just quit pulling it. I don't know what she's doing out there. I tell her to pull on the hose. Hopefully there should be plenty out there. This is the shortest hose that I could find. It's a 5-foot hose. Like I said, hopefully that's the right size. And I may put in some sort of a securement or something here, some sort of a brace. Now that I've got that on there, go ahead and put a wrench on it and give it a little snug and tight. Yeah, that's pretty darn tight. Now, the most important thing to note here, once you've done all this work, is to pressurize your system and then use soapy water and check all your connections and make sure there's no bubbles. The soap, if it's making propane bubbles, you know that you have a leak and you need to do some more work. Maybe even go as far as cutting the line again and reflaring it all over. I mean, it's very important that you check that. But I'm not going to be able to do that because that stove's not connected right now. However, we're pretty much done. So I'm going to go outside and see how much hose I have, what it looks like connected to the little stove, and we'll go from there.
That fancy.
Okay, so this is it. You can see the stove is all connected. There's the hose running underneath, and we're pretty much done here. Heidi did a ton of work on this. Thank God. She's the painter. This is my job. She took a nap.
I took the dog down and fed the dog.
And took a nap.
I woke up, I'm like, oh my God, what time is it? It looks like it's 6:30. Oh,
Yeah, it got cloudy outside because the storm's coming.
I was looking for the dog. I couldn't find the dog. He's waiting at the door for me.
The only thing I can find that I don't care for is that the shut-off valve here kind of hits the stove, but yeah, I think this is all right. What do you think?
Turned out good.
So now that we're done cooking, let's pretend that we're done cooking. I need to tighten this. Look, it's loose. Ow, that's sharp. Hurt my elbow. And then we'll put this like this. Put the dust cover on.
Oh my! Always something extra.
And then here, I'll hold this. Remove the stove. Oh, always something extra.
No, that's you.
That's it. Just lift. And then we'll see how this fits with the valve in that position. Let's see if that works. Oh, it fits. That's good. Up. Boom.
I'll be going down the road dragging it.
Are you just gonna hold that all day?
No, what do you want me to do with it?
Then go back in the garage. See what it looks like in here other than the mess. Not too bad. I'm sure I could do something to keep this from, coming out here, but it's a real soft hose, so if something was there, it would be okay. Boy, we got a sweep underneath here. Alright YouTube, it's a new day and it's been kind of rainy and definitely warm, and Heidi and I haven't been doing anything today. We actually tried to enjoy part of her vacation because it was rainy and I couldn't really work out here. The rain's cleared though, and I wanted to show you what we got done. Alright, so we just tested the outdoor stove with the hose and everything works perfect out here. You do have to light that with a stick lighter. However, in here we haven't mounted it yet because we don't know what kind of door we're going to do, but the stove's all set up. I'll let Heidi push the button and I'll turn on the gas. You can see the igniter's just hanging down there, and pretty simple. We'll turn them both on, and there's one and there's the other. Nice. So now she has electronic ignition. What do you think about that?
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Stand it.
Hardly stand it. It's 81 in the RV. Again, we're not working out here today. We just thought that we would touch up with these last little things that we needed to do. We've got to get a measurement on this door opening. I have to get some sort of a board. Well, we have plenty of boards to measure or to mount across here for a header. And then we've got hinges and a handle from that cabinet. Remember we had that cabinet up there? Well, we stole that cabinet door and we put it on the bathroom because the bathroom one was kind of destroyed. So now we have the bathroom cabinet door somewhere. I don't even know where that's at. And we've got the handles for it and the hinges. I think that's what these are right here, right, Hyde?
I don't know.
You've got all the doors mounted, right?
Yeah, I think that's the...
So we've got these two that we can just find a cabinet door that'll kind of match, and of course we have the hinges and everything to go with it. As far as this, we know that it's not the same white as the rest of the RV.
Deal with it.
Yeah, we decided I really don't want to paint this because it's such a nice finish. It's already to be handled for heat. We don't have to worry about, wiping it with Windex or anything like that. We don't have to do anything. It's already done. So yeah, we're not going to mess with that. Again, it's a little bit different of white, but not for all the work that it would take to pull this off. And
I'll put some magnets or something. I'll cover it up for y'all.
yeah, maybe we'll get some contact paper. And we still haven't fully decided on using the license plates for the backsplash yet. We're thinking about using the license plates in here somewhere, but yeah, we think that it might clash with the countertop being so busy and brown. It may be a bad idea.
We should be able to attach the sink or the countertop tomorrow.
Yeah. So we're coming along. So we'll pick this up tomorrow. So we'll see you then. YouTube, it's a new day, and I don't know if we're going to get much done today. We better, because we only have a few more days that Heidi's on vacation, so I need to get my little woodworking on. which is always fun because I don't know what I'm doing. Luckily, we straightened out the garage the other day so we can take some of that stuff that's in the front of the camper and put it inside the garage. I mean, that's kind of why we were doing that in the first place. It's already starting to get a little bit humid today. It's not going to be extremely hot today, only about 80. And the humidity's supposed to be up there a little ways. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's supposed to be really rough. So we're going to have to see how that turns out.
Yeah, because we probably won't get finished because of it, unless we run the generator.
Oh yeah, we'll run the generator. I still have gas in it, like I showed you guys, or if you haven't seen or remember me saying, we were running it on gas because it's a little bit cheaper. And I've always said that if we know that we're going to run it for a period of time, we'll run on gas, and then I'll just run all the gas out. We're going to definitely be running it for a couple of days. So let's get to work. Yeah, everything's kind of saturated. Trash went. The dog's still here. And we got to find the keys to the RV. We think they're in Heidi's car. I don't know if you guys saw this. We got rid of Heidi's little Honda and bought her this car. So far it's been pretty good.
Lucky, because I thought for sure they weren't.
I told you. I told you. And I've got to unlock the workshop, also known as the back of the truck. Okay, Heidi's got something to tell you.
We're drilling a hole.
Here's the deal. Heidi can't paint in here until I build this reinforcement and we get our general over idea of how we want this shelf to be. So here's the problem. We can't figure out where to mount the table mounts at. I need to know exactly what the height of this is, which I think is 27 inches, with this, pocketed in the floor. Regardless of what they say, I don't know for sure. Once we have this situated in the floor, we can then center the table correctly, which we already have this hole centered on where the table's going to be on the table. And then at that point, we can move the table to the wall, do a level, since the RV's still level, and we can get an idea of where we need to connect that track. So all this, we have to do all this just so we can get this corner finished so we can get painting done. Remember I said I bought that hanger, which again, the link will be down below in Amazon's affiliates thing. We've got this outdoor mount that can be used indoor for the table, and we're going to use that to secure the table to the wall there. And then we're using a pole, which I'm putting the links down below for this, and I'm going to tell you right now, I guarantee this thing's probably one of the best ones you can buy, because I read the reviews and everything I see from this so far is pretty good. They've got these rubber feet on them to help secure it. It's much tighter. It's just a much tighter fit than those old chrome ones. We're not real sure about this hole. I have done so many measurements underneath and inside here to make sure that it clears a support that we have underneath the RV. And as far as I can tell, we're going to come in between it. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. I guess that's the best way to describe it. I'm pretty sure. As far as the hole size, this replacement is a little bit bigger than what came from the factory. From the factory, there were only 3-inch holes that were in the floor, and this one's over 3-inch because of all this extra support that you see here. All these ribs, it helps with the support greatly. So I think what I'm going to have to do is drill a hole, put this in there, and then open up the hole to accommodate these ribs to some extent. So the good news is we didn't hit anything.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, that's like great news. And yeah, just like I thought, it's a little bit on the too big side. So we're gonna go ahead and open this up a little bit to help accommodate those ribs. All right, so you see I got it placed in the floor. Again, it's very solid. it's much better than what you would imagine. Those chrome ones, we checked them out at the store when we went up to that salvage place, or whatever you want to call it, that we bought this table at. And they had the chrome leg, and I fit it in one of the pockets, and it just felt horrible compared to this. So now our problem's going to be placing this in the center and finding out the height that it needs to be at, so we can figure out where to mount the hinge. Again, we're doing all this just so we know what height to secure this to the wall. So we'll see what happens here.
So what would you like to tell our YouTube audience?
I love screwing. I'm becoming the cabinet maker. I hate woodworking. Not taking away from anybody that likes it, but that's not me. I'd be hating it. We had to countersink all the screws, of course, pre-drill, because this is all hard oak. We definitely wanted to make sure that whenever the table got secured to something, that it was something solid. The other thing is the table height where the hinge was is definitely below where we were not going to have anything to mount it into. I still have to put some up and down supports for the corner to help reinforce that corner. However, we have basically a shelf up here, and I always loved this shelf. Didn't you like it?
Wow. Why would I like it? I didn't even sit anywhere near it.
She never got to really use it, but I love putting like my hard drives up here, my cables, our chargers. You can see all the plugs that we have. You know, there's one over here, and then we've got two over on this side here. And all those plugs, you know, we've got all our phones plugged into it, and I don't know. It's always come in handy. Now Heidi's debating on whether she wants to stain this or what, but all these are countersunk, so she's got some wood paste. She'll go ahead and fill all these up so you can't see the screws. But it's solid. I mean, it's very, very solid now. And again, it's oak, so it should really, you know, sturdy up things. So we're moving along. The last thing I got to do is basically get the table and find out exactly where we're going to mount it, and hopefully we can still get enough of an angle, which I believe we can. It doesn't take very much for it to come off of these hinges, just like outside that outdoor stove.
So there, now we're just going to put everything back together and we're going camping.
No, that she's glorifying.
I'm not painting anymore.
She's glorifying.
I hate it.
The table's perfectly level, left to right, front to rear. It's the right height. It fits in its pocket perfect. The leg is perfect. It's pretty stable. Heidi, go ahead. Sit on it.
I'm not sitting on it.
So anyways, this is how it comes off. You just lift it up, and then I don't know why she does it this way, but she likes to do it that way. If you lift it high enough, you just lift it all the way then. Okay, now just, it'll drop if you do it that way.
I know, but the problem is I'm not strong enough to pick the table up.
Oh, I didn't realize we had kindergartner in here.
He thinks I'm He-Man.
She just has to know how.
Men think their wives are freaking He-Man.
All right, hold the camera so the wussy man can do it. Look, I'm telling you, it's all about physics and leverage.
That's good. That's
it's all
not
about leverage and stuff.
Yeah, very good.
Look, if you lift it up, once you get it so high, look at my belly. Look at my big fat belly on there. Look at this.
Yeah.
And then I just do that.
Sweet. That's awesome. I love watching you do it.
Yeah. But anyways, that's it. It releases. And the table's off. That'll allow us to put the jackknife back out. Again, you know, this is just the pocket leg, and I'm telling you, it is solid.
When we have visitors, maybe we could put a blow-up mattress here.
That's when we have a square dance. This is our dance floor. So that's it.
Oh, he
I'll be
hasn't
all done.
attached the countertop yet either.
Which countertop? Oh yeah, we still haven't attached the countertop and done the.
That's been 4 days.
Yeah, isn't that funny? We just keep on saying we're going to do it, and we haven't.
Well, we have other things that.
Well,
need
right.
done.
She wanted to paint, and we can do the counter. I'm going to do the countertop now. We're going to get that over with. That way, my work is very little.
Okay. Okay, well then you can put the table back. Just set it up for now.
All right, so we've got the trim in place. Of course, you can see the nail heads, and then Heidi's going to touch all that up and repaint it. She's got to repaint the corner a little bit there where I screwed it up. But the countertop is finally, what? It's secured. Yeah, it's finished. We do have a little bit of gap here. Not a big deal. I mean, I am not a woodworker at all. Not even close.
You did fine.
So the trim's back there covering up the gap. We chose to just put a little bit of silicone in there instead of liquid nail because I don't know if liquid nail would have been the right choice. And yeah, the countertop is pretty much done. We'll have to figure out the backsplash still. We're not sure exactly what we're going to do. As far as here, there is not going to be a backsplash. There is nothing here. There's not going to be anything here at all. Our backsplash, if anything, is going to start right about here maybe and go up and over and then up and then across if we do whatever we do.
A backsplash at all.
Yeah, I was talking about that paint, and we've talked about it again to where maybe we would just tape off and paint it a different color or a different material or something.
We don't.
Yeah, we don't know. So we actually got stuff done today. I mean, the table's here, and that corner's not completely done, but pretty close.
In fact, I think that you
Deserve a drink? Yes.
well, I guess I still can't paint, so you need to finish that corner tonight.
Okay, I'll do that corner tomorrow.
Tonight.
Tomorrow.
I'm going to go down and get hamburger
No.
while you're finishing the corner.
No.
Come on, I ain't never going to get to paint. I'm sick of painting.
She just wants to get it over with. Problem is I've got this is definitely another it's 5 o'clock. We started on this thing early. And
Slow.
We are slow today, but it's getting done. And the whole reason I don't want to tackle this is because I need to bring the seat out. I need to find out a place for the batteries. I need to, again, reinforce the obvious, but I need to know how far out I can come with the seat stuff and kind of utilize that too to help reinforce. It's coming along.
It is. I'm sick of painting. It's not fun anymore.
So we're gonna leave this day alone. I think we're done. How about we get showered up, dressed up, and go out to party, eat. Did I say party? What I meant is drink alcohol. I mean eat. It's her vacation. Tell her to enjoy her vacation a little bit. All right, we're gonna close this day out. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Guess what? It's another day. It's going to be chilly today, though. Yeah, it's going to be 88 degrees today is the high. A lot of people are saying that it should get into the 90s. The heat index is definitely going to be in the 90s. Our dew point's around 66, 67, somewhere around there. It's kind of nice because we are, of course, getting real close to finishing. We think we might be able to do that. So we're going to go out, try to capture some of this, and see what we can get done today. And of course, I've been out here already this morning. Heidi, she's been inside just doing nothing.
That's wrong.
Yeah, maybe.
I've been up for a while. Here's the countertop. It's cleaned off.
Yeah.
Maybe the last time you see it cleaned off.
Heidi's got
I put
her
some
first
paint
coat
on
of her first coat over the nails. I showed that yesterday. Just in a picture, though. I think we showed it in the picture, right?
I think so. Because the countertop was packed full of
everything
everything that's on the table.
Yeah, this is nice. Of course, we'll be running the air conditioner today, and that generator's been doing a good job. We haven't been putting it on the tongue because there's no sense in it. We can put it out in the yard. I think I might put some shade to it today. What do you think?
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, because the sun's going to be beating down on it. So we're going to get this this show started. Where's the temperature gauge?
On the table.
Oh, there it is. So it's not bad in here at all. It's 77 degrees. The humidity's at 78%, but that'll get better.
And I knew Heidi wanted me to get this table straightened out for her so she could put everything on it.
Well, after I put everything on it, and I'm like, the table needs to come out.
Yeah.
So today, Michael completed the cabinet. No, it's not the cabinet. It's a little cubby hole that he had to have. So, we made sure that we secured the batteries. There is a mouse in my pocket. He secured the batteries today. We do need some type of hold down to hold them down for when we travel. But we got this done. The seat fits over here. Perfect. And what else did we do this morning? I think that's just
yeah, it seems like we was doing more than this.
everything we do, it takes all day.
It's only 2 o'clock.
Okay. So now the couch fits perfect over there. We'll show that to you in later video, unless you've already seen it.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. We do have to mount the chair or the couch or the love seat, whatever you want to call it, to the floor. Also for travel. And just a few things that we got to do left. Well, there's a lot of things, but just a handful of things we need to do. We need to paint. Put the cabinets back on, and I think the last thing we're going to do after we do that is put some carpet in here.
Yeah, we need to do our carpet.
We got to paint first.
Heidi's, this is why I'm just shooting a video, because I'm not going to be out here for a while now, because
He's been in my way for 3 days.
yeah.
3 days of my vacation.
All I have to do, my job is to secure these batteries down, which I've got them locked in. I mean, these are all secured, you know, to slide forward and backwards and left to right. However, I don't have anything that could keep them from jumping out, other than the chair. Whenever the chair is mounted, we had to put them as close as we did to the wall for the fact that the seat is just not tall enough. I mean, it is tall enough, but not when somebody sits in it. It's that close. But there's no possible way in this universe that this seat can hit the batteries where they're mounted at right now. So as long as that frame doesn't break, the metal frame that the seat's mounted on, we're good there. We've got the cables provided for there. Heidi's idea, not mine. Which is a good one, to where they're protected. They're coming up from the floor, and this is all smoothed off and rounded because the love seat does, the corner of the love seat does go underneath this a little bit, which we wanted for another 2 inches of clearance over here. But everything is really tight in this corner again. We used oak, we pre-drilled it all, we countersunk everything, and secured it into studs on the trailer, except for the floor pieces. Those are secured into the 1-inch plywood, but everything else is secured to studs for the most part, except nothing's coming from the outside. But these are going to the outside to a stud, and everything's secured to everything else basically. So it's all tied in together, and it's all firm again. You know, there's no flex to the walls. So we're good there. We have now this cubby hole that we can access when we're sitting on the bench, the love seat. And we've got this, which is going to be nice. I'm going to put a board across the front to keep stuff in there, but this can go underneath the table, and this is yet some more storage that we'll have available.
Or all your cables.
Yeah, I can store all kinds of stuff there. So yeah, we're in good shape. We're much better off than what we were before, that's for sure. Yeah, it's going to be okay. I think this is going to turn out all right. What do you think?
Yep, it's getting there.
Yeah, we're
for sure that we would.
Oh, the backsplash. We're going to do a backsplash.
I thought for sure that we would be further along.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, we probably
3
would.
days I wanted to paint.
Yeah, but for the 3 days we had to do all this stuff. I mean, think about it.
Well, it took us 4 days to do this.
Yeah, right. And that's going to close out the video, even though it's early in the day. I've got to do a lot of video editing. So
Peace.
Is that what we say?
Hope to see you out there.
Bye.
Bye.